All right. We are now live on Wade's Ventures YouTube channel, guys. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Wow, I have the most amazing guest tonight, guys. You already know who they are. I will introduce them, but I got to tell you guys, I am super excited. Super excited. We've got a lot of cool stuff. I've got a lot of questions. This is going to be a jam-packed hour for you guys. And real quick, let me introduce some people in chat, and then we'll get started. Give some people time to get in here. What's going on, Fred? Tracy. Oh, we have Katie in here. Nice. Tanya, what's going on? Pac-Man, what's going on? Kelly, what's going on? By the way, Kelly, I love your t-shirts you had on today. It was really cool. The Vegan Flipper, Key Lime Kisses, the artist in the group. What's going on? Beth, my neighbor, you're like 20 feet away. You should just come over and hang out. Hugo, what's going on? Mary, what's going on? Fresh Farm, what's going on? Ozzy, good stuff, guys. Go follow him. He's a really cool Aussie reseller. Really amazing accent. I'm jealous of you guys. Treasure, what's going on? Flipping. Okay. All right, guys, we got to get going. We got a jam-packed show, but thank you so much for joining. So those of you who are new to my channel, I really appreciate you coming in. Basically what we do on my channel is we interview amazing, really cool, talented people, resellers that you may or may not have heard of throughout our community, throughout the week on our show. And I ask them some really basic but amazing questions, and I use the word amazing a lot, so get ready for that. But anyways, I just want to say everybody that came over from Ryan and Allie Rally Roots channel, and this is your first time, I just want to say I appreciate you guys coming over. They mean a lot to me. Ryan has always been extremely generous, and I just really appreciate you guys coming over. So without further ado, let me go and introduce these guests, because we have just a crazy amount of stuff to go over today. And we are going to do an amazing show with Katie and Vicky. I'll turn it over to you guys.
Hello. Well, I did actually promise it was going to be a face melting show, and so sorry I didn't tell you that that's what was going to happen. But
I probably should have put some more makeup on or something.
Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure on us to make.
I know. After that introduction, that's like a lot of pressure there, Wade. I don't know.
guys, you probably don't know, but these two are rock stars. Let me just bring this up real quick. I had this on the ready. But I don't know if Ryan's in the house yet or anybody's in the house. But look how photogenic these four are. Like, they look amazing when they take photos.
It's a really cute picture, I have to say.
We try.
I'm not nearly as photogenic as Katie is, but I think the picture is made better with Ryan and Allie. They're so damn cute.
You know what? Ryan and Allie are so awesome. Like you were just saying, we super appreciate them, because we didn't know them other than seeing them on their show, and then we met them in Vegas. And same with you, Wade. And so all of you guys are, like, I think, perfect examples of what I love about our community. Just like super supportive, super into just like helping each other out, lifting each other up, which is like what we're all about. And you guys Ryan and Allie, like as nice, if not nicer in person. Totally genuine, and I think it's awesome. And I think, Wade, for you and me and us, it's like we're kind of like on the same journey right now, kind of just starting out our whole YouTube thing. And so having like the support of like some of these bigger channels, they're just being super generous with their time. So I love them.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And actually, you and Thrifty Santa were the first people that we met at eBay.
Yeah.
When we walked down the hallway that very first day, we were like, "Hey, that's our first eBay people." You knew who we were right away, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, man, I gotta get over there and give these a handshake or hug or something. You guys are celebrities.
We're huggers. We're huggers.
It's an interesting community, because you can, it's such a small community, and so you get to feel like you're kind of like famous within like a small group of people. So it's really fun. It's exciting. It's super exciting. I love it.
It is, guys, and we'll get over all the social media stuff. But you guys have been here for a while that have seen a lot of my shows. You guys know that I like to lurk around people's Instagram, see what they're up to. And guys, go join her amazing Instagram. I got it up here. It's the same as her first and last name, guys. Go over there and join her Instagram and stalk her. She's got really good information, really good stuff. So, all right, so let's get into this. By the way, I don't know if Ryan's in here yet or Ali, but I did, in the spirits of you guys being so amazing, some crazy stuff here. Some was it unicorns, stuff like that?
I love it.
Nice. Donuts, my favorite.
And donuts. Got that from Walmart.
Now, I know this is probably a surprise. I'm totally gonna flash you guys. This is gonna be a huge shocker. I'm not wearing any pants. I am just wearing my boxer briefs. So no pants Friday is really no pants every day.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And she just has to like deal with it.
Can we get a chant in chat? No pants Friday. No pants Friday. We're gonna go over that again, guys. Don't worry. It's
all right.
You have a lot of cool. You've got an amazing Facebook group, a really cool YouTube channel. You just don't do anything wrong, guys. We'll go over this later in the show, but let's get started in this. Let's get started. Let me ask these questions. Then we'll go into the haul. We've got a really cool small little haul for you guys. And these are going to be questions you can answer separately or together, completely up to you. No pants Monday. Hey, no pants Monday through Friday when you're in Vegas, okay? It's hot. It's hot.
It's true.
So tell me, first and foremost, I want to know a little. We like to get to know the people here on this channel, and then we get to like the reselling good stuff. So we'll be quick. We got a jam-packed hour, but tell me how you guys like. Katie, I know you were you were actually in my neck of the woods. I live in Beaverton, Oregon. So tell me a little bit about how both of you guys got started reselling. Like, how did you find out about eBay?
Well, okay, I've only been selling for like 2.5 years, so I'll let Vicky go first. She's been doing this a lot longer than I have, and then we can get into like how this whole partnership started and everything, because this time last year I was still living in Oregon. So why don't you go ahead?
So I've been on eBay since probably, I think I created my first account in '99 as a buyer. And then I would sell a couple of things here and there, but I really started selling 13 years ago. And then I started selling full time 9 years ago now. So I've been doing this for a minute, like back when people would mail checks and money orders and well-concealed cash, and they'd send a personal check and you had to wait 10 days for the check to clear before you sent them something. If you were lucky, you had 1 or 2 pictures up with your description, because you had to, it was really difficult to actually get photos and get them uploaded. This is before digital photos, before cameras. So
I've been doing the wild west of eBay.
I know, seriously, I sound like my grandmother right now, but I've been doing it for a minute. Yeah.
Vicky, did you I knew I recognized you from somewhere. You were the one that like sold the first laser pointer on eBay.
Yes, that was me. Oh my God. I feel like it sometimes.
Yeah, seriously.
It has changed so much though over the last, decade plus.
Yeah. And I was on eBay like as a buyer for years. I bought stuff here and there. I actually used to, back in like the mid 2000s, I sold DVDs and stuff on Amazon just for a while. I used that to like fund my move to New York for grad school back in the day. But eBay, I didn't get started with eBay until 2015. Actually, December 2015 was when I made my first sale. I had a limit of 10 items a month. So I've really only been doing it for about 2.5 years. But then we met through a Facebook group, and we just knew each other kind of casually just because we were active in the group. And then we met in person at eBay Open last year. So it's kind of a crazy eBay Open love story.
I had a love story too myself when I was there. You guys, if you go to eBay Open, it is an amazing event. But you go during the morning, they have every coffee, tea, anything you want there. It's crazy. I loved it. But so Katie, I'm really interested too, like the fact that you said you've only been reselling for a little bit of time, yet you've been doing so amazing, and then you were an award winner at eBay. Do you mind going through that really, really quick? Because I think that in itself is a really cool story. The fact that you've been buying for a while, but a few years selling, and now you got that amazing award. Now you're in Vegas. Now you're just enjoying life. Like I said, I creep on your Instagram, and I saw you had some pretty good food a few days ago, and I love Vegas. Gotta go over that story for me real quick, and then explain what that award means for those of you in chat. 91 people may not know what that award means.
Yeah, so my background is actually in nonprofit work. I was the executive director for a Habitat for Humanity affiliate in Oregon before I started selling on eBay. And what happened is I left that job. I just had been there for long enough and I wanted to try something else. I left that job. I was trying to start my own marketing consulting business, like working with small businesses. But then at the same time, I just randomly, I think I was at like an Adidas outlet and I thought, oh, I think I could sell these shoes. And so I started trying that. And I realized that I was more successful at selling on eBay more quickly than I was like getting my marketing business off the ground, marketing consulting business. And so I just, I had 6 months of unemployment that was like, there's like the special program in Oregon where if you're starting your own small business, you can get, collect unemployment and they kind of support you through that process. So it's like I had this 6-month window where I need to either get a job or figure out how to get my marketing consulting business off the ground or figure something out. And so I just kind of dove into eBay. It was totally random. It probably took about 8 months to get to a full-time income. So there was like 2 months where I was really hurting, but, and then I hit fourth quarter and it was all over from there. And so what happened is I applied for the Shine Award through eBay as a rising star. Which basically just shows like a lot of growth over a 12-month period. And I ended up winning that award. That's why I came to Open last year. Saw this lady across the room, like Romeo and Juliet. And it was like, little explosions going off. And then basically I left Vegas and I was like, I guess I got to move to Vegas now. And so I moved to Vegas during fourth quarter last year in the middle of December.
I commend you for that. That is incredible. Fourth quarter moving it. I
know, right? We were gonna wait till after fourth quarter, but then I realized I don't want to do this traveling anymore, and so that's when I kind of started my YouTube channel. If you go back to my early videos, you can see like the kind of the process of getting ready to move, getting everything organized, coming here to Vegas, getting like the 2-car garage all figured out so we can hold both of our inventories because we have separate stores, but we have between the two of us probably close to 5,000 items of inventory, so we have to make it work.
Okay, so. Guys, another thing too, so what we do basically is the reason I put their YouTube channel in chat is so you can go subscribe to them right now. And then the cool thing that we do on this channel is I shout you out. So what I like to do is go to their YouTube channel, subscribe, let me know what number subscriber you are, and then I'll shout your name out, guys. And I'm telling you, you do not, they have we'll go over the events that they have, really cool stuff, but you guys want to definitely go over there now and subscribe. But all right, so first and foremost, let's take 2 steps back and then we'll take 2 steps forward. So you met this amazing lady sitting next to you at eBay Open. I want to tell you, like, isn't life crazy? Like, had you not sold on eBay, you would not.
Exactly.
You wouldn't, I mean, it's really incredible, like, to me, that like one little step in life can change like the remainder of your life, right? And you guys are possibly going to France?
Are we going to France? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah, where you guys going for your for getting married? Did you guys?
Oh well, we're talking about going to Italy.
Yeah, we've been talking about instead of spending a ton of money on one day for a big wedding, we may just take a trip to Italy instead. So we're kind of leaning toward that right now, even though that's going to probably upset a lot of our family members and friends.
Oh, guys. Let me know in chat. Is it Italy or should it be Vegas? They're both pretty good areas to get married. That's
yeah, but we'll get married. Here's the thing: we'll get married here in Vegas, but then it'll just be like a very small thing and then just like a party, and then we'll go on a big trip. Because I'm like, if we're gonna spend thousands of dollars, I'd rather be on something that's not super stressful. And putting a wedding together is stressful. It really is.
Yeah, she basically keeps telling me she still wants to love me by the time we get married. Yeah. Because I'm a neurotic control freak. With a type A personality. So me trying to plan a wedding means I would be probably a bridezilla.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guys, I think you guys are really cool. I just want to say before we get started, I really enjoy you too. And since I met you, I mean, like you said about Ryan and Allie, you guys are crazy, genuine, really cool people. And we'll get into the sports betting thing too that you did for me too.
You mean when I lost all your money?
Oh, no. Actually, by the way, since then I got a good hotel, a good casino hotel we can go to that has better lines. But,
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, guys. So So let's get into this. I want to ask you first and foremost, like, normally what we would do is we would dive in a little bit deeper, but since you guys are seasoned and I want to get some nuggets out for the crowd here, tell us a little bit about eBay Open. Like, what do you get out of eBay Open? Did you enjoy it? Are you coming back next year? Even though you live in Vegas, you're definitely coming back. But like, what kind of stuff do you get out of eBay Open? We'll start there.
I mean, honestly, we say this every time. It's all about the networking. It's all about the people that you meet. I mean, us having this conversation right now is happening because we had the opportunity to actually meet face to face and get to know each other. Same with Ryan and Allie, and it's like all these other people and just all the sellers within the community. There's just something so energizing and so reinvigorating about being in that space with all these other sellers who share your experience.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've said it before. In fact, I actually used my quote from last year's eBay Open on the front page of eBay Open 2018 to sign up. And it's really true that I do think the very best part about it is meeting other sellers, meeting other like-minded individuals, people that understand your struggles, your day-to-day, but they also celebrate each other's successes. And I think meeting people in that context is, I know it sounds, some people say, oh, we drank the Kool-Aid, or, we're eBay, I don't know, kissing up to eBay or whatever. eBay has its faults. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably more vocal about it than Katy is when there's things going wrong. I'm very honest and upfront about it, but it's still, as far as I'm concerned, it's still the best platform for what we do. And has been for me for a really long time. And I really enjoy it. And I really love the community and the people that make up the eBay community. I love the people involved. There are some amazing people that I would not have met, including Katy, if not for eBay. And, as far as eBay Open, the classes and things like that, I've now said this that was my third year that I went. The classes are great for new sellers and sellers that are learning. I really believe that. You can always get a little bit of information, a little nugget here and there out of the classes, even as a seasoned seller. But I think that the vast amount of information and knowledge that you're going to get is through networking with other sellers.
Absolutely.
I would agree. It was incredible. It was like really awesome to be able to like walk the halls and just pick people's brains and take pictures. And it's completely crazy because you talk to like individuals for a long period of time on your phone, and then all of a sudden you meet in person. It just changes. Like, I mean, the relationship doesn't change, but like it just brings that bond much more closer. And it was really, really cool to meet everybody and take pictures. And Thrifty Santa, me and you, Thrifty Santa, were the first resellers that you guys seen there in the halls. And so it was a really, really cool experience. I will definitely be going next year. I really liked it. And I got that video coming out, guys, soon. So hopefully you can check it out, kind of get like an experience of what it will possibly be next year. And not only that, but Vegas is amazing, right? I mean, geez, you guys had fun with Casey. I saw some of those pictures.
Oh yeah,
we did. Yeah, we went out and did a couple of fun stuff with people, a couple of fun things. Yeah, we kind of, I dragged Casey into a photo and kind of tried to humiliate him a little bit. He was a good sport about it.
Yeah.
Don't you find that like when you finally met people in person that you'd already been talking to online, doesn't it feel like you're just seeing an old friend?
That's exactly. Like that was a shorter version of what you just said, that like I just spent the last 30 seconds trying to like, it really is. It's and to your point, like, had we not met, I knew of you, you knew of me, but had we not met, we may not be doing this. May not be having 100 people watching. It's incredible. Like I said, little life changes like that,
Absolutely.
All right. So real quick, before we move on, who does the cooking in the house?
We both do.
We take turns.
Yeah. I like doing it more than she does, but
I don't like to cook, but I do. So we're about 50-50.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how do you guys run 5,000 items? I'm assuming out of your garage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How does that work? Do you keep like, okay, you both take one side of the garage, or tell me how that works?
Pretty much.
I have probably more like a third, and she has probably about 2/3 because she has hard goods and clothing, whereas I just do men's clothing. And so if you go back and watch some of my earlier videos where I show like how we actually set it up, I built hanging racks all along both sides of the garage. They're like double levels. And so like I have all of my jackets are on these racks, and then I have bins for all of my clothes and then boxes for my shoes. And then I built her racks as well, and she has a bunch of her stuff on the racks, but she also has shelving because she has like a bunch of hard goods. But yeah, so basically it's pretty tight. Like we're
it's a pretty good size. Callie asked how big is the garage. It's a pretty good size two-car garage. You know, we don't have basements or attics in Vegas. So your garage is all you have for storage, your garage or in the house. And I am very adamant about not letting inventory take over the house. So there is unlisted inventory in the house only, in my office or in her office, period.
But it's a tight fit because it's like I have all of my bins. They're all the same bins I get from Costco. Those ones that are black with the yellow lids. And I have them all stacked up. And when I'm getting my stuff out, they're pulled out. And then I have to push them all back in so that she can access her stuff. So it's like there's no extra
We're kind
room.
of at the max.
We're at the max. Really close to probably needing to get some sort of storage space, but we're trying to put that off as long as possible.
Yeah, because we're not quite there yet, but we definitely are almost there. And you know, we go up as high as possible as far as, you know, stacks go, and the shelving. You know, their hanging racks are 2 levels high. And we have a lot of ceiling racks in the garage too that keep the personal stuff on, because I'm a Christmas tree and Christmas decoration nut. So I have tons of Christmas stuff everywhere.
When I was moving here, how many times did you say it's not going to fit?
100.
I was like, it will fit. I'm going to make it fit. It was like real life Tetris in the garage. And I'm like, it will happen. So there's some serious storage solutions.
And we never mix our stuff up because it is kept entirely separate. So someone asked if we ever mix our stuff up. It never happens. And it doesn't get lost either. I know where every single thing is in my...
I never lose stuff.
Yeah, I don't use an inventory system either. So I've got to tell you, I'm probably the worst about that. But I know where every single thing is.
Wow, that is the first. That is amazing. You just remember where it's at, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome. You have a genius for a lady sitting next to you, Katie.
I don't know about that. I do keep like items together. So at least, I mean, I have a general idea. But I can tell you, when I went away last month for 10 days, she did my shipping for me. And she doesn't know where my stuff is for the most part. She had to ask me a few times when she couldn't find something. And I could always tell her, like, it's the 3rd shelf down on the left. And so I know where it is.
Wow. So tell me, like, how does it work? Do you guys ever like help each other with the other side's business, or do you just strictly do your own business, your own thing?
I mean, to a certain degree, just more, it's usually more like I will take something to FedEx for her, or I have to, there's some stuff that's like up high that I have to bring down for her.
Because she's tall and I'm short.
But yeah, mostly we go and source together sometimes, but for the most part, we just do our own thing.
Yeah, it's pretty separate because we actually sell a lot. Well, I sell all of the same things that Katie sells. Doesn't work vice versa. So if I ever want to get the good men's stuff or the good vintage men's stuff, I have to source by myself, because the way that we work it is if we source together, I kind of just let her have the men's department.
That's the only department I shop in. So.
And I tend to, and I shop an entire store, including the perimeter and the hard goods. So I feel, you know, I've got an advantage. So I'm just going to let her go.
Yeah. Sometimes she'll come over and start shopping in the men's, and then I just glare at her a lot.
Well, I do check and see if you've actually got, because we don't always get the same thing. So I'll check and see if you've been through that particular section so that I can go through it again.
Now, there are other times now, like Vicky, sometimes she can be a little bit more of like an emotional reactor. And so if she's super stressed and something happens, like there's a problem. So like this morning, there was an issue with a return. Somebody returned an item that they said didn't work. It came back. It was not in the condition that it was sent out in.
Pretty smashed, actually.
And yeah, and so she was, you know, she had other things she was stressing about. So it was kind of like one of those like last straw type of things. And so I was like, listen, we can handle this. You know, you go over there and then I will call. So I basically called and pretended to be Victoria and worked out the problem. We have concierge, so they helped us and everything worked out fine. But I'll do stuff like that for her to help her out.
She's more calm than I am.
Yeah, because she was at the breaking point. You know, when you just like, you've had too many things happen or go wrong in a day and you're just like, I can't take it anymore. It's Monday morning and it's already, everything's going wrong.
Yeah, that was me this morning.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a personal question. I just want to say, like, because I transitioned, I was in the corporate world for 10 years, and actually, believe it or not, I handled pretty much all the nonprofits in Oregon, like Outside In, all the big ones for T-Mobile. And that was my job. And then I left in April of this year. And it has changed my life in ways that you have no idea. But I wanted to ask you too, even though you run separate businesses, like isn't it amazing that you guys can wake up together and set your own schedules? And even though you have separate businesses, it's still the same concept. Like, isn't it like we live in a world right now where you can pick up your phone and make money with your spouse? I think it's just really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love it because the thing is, like, yeah, we do our own thing. We each have our own store, but because we do the same thing, we get it. We get each other's problems. We get what's going on. We understand like what needs to be done, and we also, our schedules work the same way. And so, yeah, we're working a lot of times like 10 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, but we get to wake up and have our coffee, go swim in the pool. If we want to go do something in the afternoon, we'll just get a bunch of work done in the morning and maybe come and work more later on. But it's like that flexibility. It's just, I wouldn't trade it for like a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. And I'm definitely, you know, I've been doing this full time longer than you and Katie, but I come from a corporate background as well. I was a mortgage broker for 15 years. And when the mortgage industry imploded, I decided to do this. And I had an eBay store that it was just, you know, it was a hobby. I was a hobby seller. You know, I sold antiques and collectibles and things like that. And I went to selling full time, and I've nearly replaced, actually, I've replaced my mortgage income pretty darn close. And I worked in the mortgage industry when it was like shooting fish in a barrel easy, right? So it was pretty good. You know, the one thing, and other than that, I also ran 2 nonprofit organizations as well. So that's something Katie and I really bonded over, is that we both really like the, you know, we like giving back to the community, and it's really important to me to do that. And it's also really important to her. And that's part of our reason for doing a lot of stuff with teaching and sharing our knowledge and helping people with, you know, YouTube and Facebook group. But also I do a lot of volunteer work as well. And I think eBay really affords me to be able to do that, both monetarily and also gives me the time to do it. So
yeah, for sure. Well, and for me, you know, like I said, my background is in nonprofit work. You know, I worked with Habitat for Humanity for years. And before that, I worked in prisons, prison education programs. And so for me, it's like I need to have some element of what I do to be outside of myself, bigger than myself. And so that's kind of like what I'm doing with the YouTube channel. It's like I can't just be working a job where all I'm doing is making money to get by. It's like I need to be doing more than that. So for me, being able to do the shows that we do on YouTube, I feel like, you know, part of it's entertainment, but part of it is we are trying to like help people to be better sellers, you know, give them, you know, I guess more knowledge to be able to do better at their jobs. So it's like, that's how I kind of like fulfill that part of what I need.
yeah, I see in the chat there somebody had said, thanks Countrywide. Yep, Countrywide was the company I worked for. I was a regional account executive for Countrywide. So yeah, thanks Countrywide.
That's 15 years is a long time. I think that partly what I get from you guys when I was in your guys' chat on YouTube is the fact that it's not you are bringing a lot of knowledge and a lot of cool stuff, but more importantly, I think it's like bonding and like coworker status, in the sense that a lot of us work from home. We don't, and we work hard, you know, like, you know, a lot of people work 5 to 10 hours a day at this, right? So your guys' YouTube channel gives like an oasis, a place where people can go work and still communicate and be friends with people all around the United States. And so I think that's one big reason why people love your guys' YouTube channels. You can go in there and create like a bonding experience and friends, you know, that are all in there chatting together. So, I mean, I went in the last one, there's over 100 people in there. I think it was No Pants Friday, which one? That's what it is. But
your chat's pretty active right now too. It's flopping by pretty fast. So
my chat, yeah. If guys, I will answer. We'll have a little Q&A at the end. We'll see if we can stretch this a little bit longer, because I've got some questions for these veterans. But guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up button too, because I want people to discover these amazing people. So, all right. So the next question is this. Now, I love asking questions to kind of uncover how you guys do business, and I'm assuming you guys have 2 different businesses, 2 different business names, because you're separate. But where are you guys, like, give us a day in the life of you guys when you guys thrift. Like, where are you thrifting? Like, what's in Vegas to thrift at? I mean, thrift stores, stuff like that. But kind of give us a day in the life of, like, if you woke up today and you're outsourcing, what would happen?
Well, you know, we do yard sales together Although that's really more Vicky's thing, but I go with her because she doesn't want to go by herself.
It's just boring to go by yourself. It's more fun when you go together.
So, and I usually find like, you know, enough stuff that kind of makes it worth it. But really it's more about I'm having fun hanging out with her. But when I need to like source for myself, like I haven't done it as much over the summer, the last couple of months, because sales have been a little bit slower and I had a decent amount of back stock that I needed to get listed. I really needed to go out and like source some serious stuff on Thursday. So I went on Thursday, 25% off day at Savers. We have 6 Savers in this area, which where you're at, Wade, it's called Value Village, but it's the same company. And so here there's 6 of them in our area. And so I can spend the whole day just going to them. And Thursday's 25% off day. They do 50% off on Mondays, but honestly, it's too crazy on that day. So I don't even bother going on that day. I don't, that probably sounds weird, but I'd rather just go on 25% off day. And I will go all day and I go in and I hit, I'm super fast. If she goes with me, she wants to be in there for like 2 hours. I'm like, I go in, I hit the jackets and I go to sweatshirts and let's see, and then I hit like the t-shirts and I might look at some of the other stuff, but those are like the 3 areas that I hit the hardest. And then I'll be out because to get all 6 of them, it takes like the whole day.
Yeah. And I do hard goods, then men's, then women's when I'm alone. So yeah, so and we have a few Salvation Armies and we also have a bunch of Goodwills. She doesn't love the Goodwills here. I like them, but I like them on 50% off day.
The Goodwills in Oregon are so much better.
So real quick, I'm curious for you too, like I always ask this question, but do you tell people you're resellers when you're out thrifting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Give me like some negotiating, or not negotiating tactics, but like just overall, like, you know, do you believe that? I believe that if you tell people, and when I'm referring to people is like the people that work at these places, that you are a reseller, more doors open up than close, right? So how does that work for you guys? Like, do you have relationships with some of these?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I know several of the people that work at the Savers. There's 2 that I go to more frequently than others. I know several of them. I know the managers. I know a bunch of the cashiers. They know when they see me coming. You know, if I don't have a coupon, they're going to give me a coupon. If there's not a price on something, they're going to make up a super low price on something for me. Where a lot of people, they either wouldn't give you the price. You know, if it's not marked, they're not going to give you a price. So, I mean, it may not be a huge deal, but it's nice little things like that. They know what I do. And they ask questions of like, oh my God, what is this? How are you going to, how much are you going to sell that for? And they don't care. They just, you know, work there. And as far as like garage sales and stuff, absolutely. I tell people I'm reselling. I'm going to make a big pile of stuff and this is how much I'm willing to pay for it. And this is why. And what else do you have? What else do you have that's not out? What, you know, oh, you want to sell this for X amount? Okay. I know you're not going to sell it for that, but if this doesn't sell for you, here's my card. Call me. This is how much I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
And I've gotten phone calls for that.
And, you know, sometimes, you know, yeah, rarely there might be somebody who's irritated that you're a reseller. But I find that for the most part, the more people that know, people just like to know, like they like being in the know. It's like a little secret. And so then they want to help you. And like I remember back in Oregon, I had, you know, in Silverton, I had a friend who worked at the Goodwill and she texted me if something cool came in that she thought I might want. I had guys at the bins that I was friends with who would trade with me because they wanted stuff that I found and then they'd give me, you know, stuff to sell. We had a guy that we went to a garage sale like maybe it was like a month ago and he does a lot of consignment stuff and reselling and we, you know, started chatting with him and he had some cool stuff there. I actually got a 3D emblem Harley Davidson t-shirt for $1 there that I just sold for $250 on Etsy. And he gave us his card and I just texted him last week and I was like, hey, because we had talked about him having like a bunch of sports stuff in storage, like sports jackets and stuff like that in storage. And I was like, can we come and just like shop your storage basically? And so he's like, yeah, I'm in South Carolina right now, but I'll be home, you know, this next week we'll get together. So it's like that stuff wouldn't happen if you didn't tell people what you do.
Right. Exactly.
So one thing real quick, I want to say thank you so much to Steve, Mr. Raking Profits, for giving me that super chat. But more importantly, we did a couple of videos together. Really humble person, really cool to meet in person. We were eating lunch with Casey, and Steve was sitting right next to me, and he's like, hey, you wanna come up and do some videos with me? I know you know a little bit about storage units and other stuff, and I thought it was really cool the fact that he asked me to do that. And we went up to his room, had an amazing view, did a few videos. So I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah, he's another guy in the community who's super supportive, and we really
and
appreciate.
just likes to help other people, and that's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at like the size of his following, we're just like the little guys, and so for him to like spend his time supporting us, I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I first started following him when he was on the road, hotel to hotel, scanning stuff and shipping it into Amazon and making money on, from hotel rooms. That was
Steve, I have a question for Steve. Are you still on your fast? And if you are, how hungry are you right now? Because I bet you're super hungry. I did a fast once. I did like one of those cleanses, those juice cleanses for 10 days. I'm going to say the last 5 days of it, all I watched was the Food Network. It was like watching porn. It was ridiculous. I just like obsessively watched people making food and eating it because I couldn't. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, you're never going to see me do a fast. It's not going to happen.
Vicky, I'm with you. Like, I need a fast. And maybe if I fasted and I ate healthy, I'd grow more hair, and then I would dye it purple or pink or something.
There you go.
Rock it like you. But all right, so I want to touch really quick on I think Vicky had a really cool point about the business card. A lot of people don't do that. So what I'll do when I go to I have my business card here, but when I go to garage sales, basically, I'll give them the business card, because the reason I give them the business card is a lot of times, these people are not necessarily resellers. They're trying to get rid of their stuff. So when I give them their business card, a lot of times I'll get phone calls, just, hey, I got this, and they want to try to get rid of it without doing another garage sale. And I've even had a fact where people would call me if they did another garage sale, and I can come earlier to go through their items.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I think it's really cool. It opens way more doors if you say you are, and give them and be humble and nice, than it is just to walk away and not say anything to them. So just an idea. But real quick, I want to ask you guys, like, tell me when you walk into, and Katie, you kind of alluded a little bit, but Vicky, when you walk into a store and you're looking for these hard goods, like what are you like? What's your process? You just kind of scan with your eyes and you kind of know what you want, or do you like get a few things and look up comps, or how does that work?
I rarely look up comps now. I've got to be honest. I've just been doing it so long, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to act like I know everything. I really don't. And I make dud buys just like everybody. I think we've all done it. But I've learned a lot from a lot of those dud buys, and I feel like I know a little bit about a lot of different things. And I started out selling antiques and collectibles. I was an antiques dealer in Rhode Island, where all the antiques are, pretty much. And that's all I sold for like my first 6 or 7 years on eBay. I had never actually been in a thrift store or resold clothing until I moved here 5 years ago. And it's only because there are no antiques in Vegas, really. It's just such a new state. So, I'm going to just scan the shelves, and anything that looks interesting to me, I am going to pretty much buy. And that's really it. I will look up a few things. Maybe if something's pricey, I'll look it up to see if it's something good like I think it is. But for the most part, I buy on instinct. And I've always done that because I think it's because I started before we had smartphones. I started before there was any way to look stuff up. You just had to go with your instinct. And I don't know if that has helped me or hindered me, but that's how I still shop.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you with your vintage? Like, I know you do a lot of vintage men's clothing. Like, first and foremost, I want to ask, is there any websites that you use to like verify tags, different things? And two, like, what if you have questions? You probably know what you're picking up, obviously, but is there a good resource if you have questions for like what era some of this stuff is made in or manufactured in?
I mean, a lot of it is just like the information that you pick up along the way. I mean, yeah, there's some websites like the Vintage Guild, Vintage Fashion Guild,
Vintage Fashion
but
Guild.
That's pretty limited.
That's really more for women's vintage clothing, and it's really for 70s and earlier.
Yeah, I would say there aren't a lot of like one-stop places where you can get all that information. It really just takes time. And so a lot of it, I talk a lot about like t-shirts on my channel. And a lot of that is just like, there's so many different tags from different eras, and you just kind of pick it up along the way. There's things that you verify, and sometimes you verify it because the t-shirt actually has a date on it because it's like event specific. And then that's a way for you to be like, oh, this is what a Hanes t-shirt tag looked like in 1984 because this marathon t-shirt is from 1984. And so you just kind of start to build this knowledge base, because when I started, I knew nothing about clothes. I didn't know anything. I actually started doing hard goods mostly. I think my first sale was shoes, but other than that, I was selling like swamp cooler engines, like anything that I could find. And then I think I went to the bins and I realized like, oh, I can get clothes for 99 cents. And there's tons of it. So I was buying like Kirkland button down dress shirts. Like I would never
Cheap
buy that
crap.
now, just crap. But it was like a really good cheap tuition to kind of learn what sells, what doesn't sell. And then over time, just from talking to people, looking at different websites, it really takes time to kind of build up that knowledge.
Yeah, we've had some people ask us, actually several times ask us to do a tutorial on vintage clothing and how to spot vintage clothing. And it's one of those things that's just going to be so time consuming to do. We'll do one, but it's one of those things that it's hard to, it's like that definition of pornography. Like I'll know it when I see it. It's vintage clothing. You know it when you see it. You get to learn styles and what seams look like and what fabrics were used and what tags look like. And you can date it to an era, at least a decade, if nothing else. And it's one of those things that's just learned over time, learned with experience and touching and things and selling them and just.
Yeah, it's hard to have sit down and be like, okay, we're going to do a comprehensive 1 hour show on dating clothing, vintage clothing. It's like, we could tell you a lot of stuff, but we're probably going to miss a lot and it's going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to describe.
Now, I always like to ask this question, I think, and guys, we're doing kind of rapid fire here. Sorry, I got like I'm in the garage and it's like, so I think it's this show. It's this show. Like the good Lord himself knows this.
Wait, is your face melting right now?
I got like a little bit. That was one question I forgot. How is the AC level in your guys' garage? Like how you guys?
There is no AC.
There's no AC, but it actually is cooler in the garage than it is outside. It's definitely hotter than the house. But like if it's, let's say 110 degrees outside, it's not 110 in the garage. It's probably more like
100.
I don't even think it's 100. I think it
100.
feels that way because you feel very stifled when you're out there. But when you first step out there,
we try to pull our inventory and do our shipping in the morning for sure.
So it's okay, but there's no climate control. But Vegas is very dry, so we don't have to deal with like any dampness or anything like that or humidity.
Yeah. I'm seeing in the chat, we have an awful lot of Vegas people in the chat. There's probably at least 100 resellers that I know of in the Valley. And this is a pretty small area.
Wow. Guys, please let me know in chat. I know I haven't been as interactive with you guys because we got, only an hour. I want to cram in as much as we can, but guys, put in chat what state you guys live in, because I always like to know where you guys are living. I want to see how many Vegas people are in here.
I saw at least a few. I saw Liquidation and Rosie's Closet and Rags.
Liquidation is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, guys. So normally I wouldn't ask this question, but I think it'd be good from you guys. So can each one of you guys answer this separately if possible? What tip would you give somebody new to reselling, and what tip would you give somebody that's seasoned reselling? And it could be anything abroad. What tip would you give somebody new, and what tip would you give somebody that's seasoned by chance?
You want to go?
All right. So a new reseller, I would say almost the same things to both, actually. I think something that's really important for both new and seasoned is to join different types of Facebook groups, follow YouTube sellers, figure out who speaks to you, who has the type of information and education and knowledge that speaks to you. You want to follow people that know what they're talking about, and are willing to be open and transparent in what they're telling you and how they're teaching you. The same type of thing for Facebook groups. You want to follow people that have the same type of, maybe the same outlook or the same type of values as you do, or sell a lot of the same things, because I really think that this is something that didn't exist when I started. And I think that it is, priceless that this information is available to new sellers, and you can soak in as much knowledge and information from so many talented and experienced people on every level that give this information for free. And then, if you find someone that you respond well to, a lot of people charge for extensive training or teaching courses, and those are great too. But I think soak up as much free information as that's available right away, and learn what you can from people. And I think that as far as a seasoned seller, you never know everything. So that's the other thing too. You can always learn something new from people that have been doing this longer than you have, or even people that are new to this. I mean, there are so many people like Katy, like yourself, like Steve Rakin, like Ali and Ryan, that have been doing this for a far shorter period of time than I have, but they are far, you guys all have something to teach me. And some people are far more knowledgeable about lots of different topics. So I think it's really important to reach out and look out into the reseller community and learn what you can from the people that are out there, because there are so many people that are amazing and willing and able to and do give knowledge freely and readily. And I think that that's really important, because I think it's going to help you be a better seller.
Mm-hmm. So I would say for new sellers, although for seasoned ones as well, this also applies, but for new sellers, I would say you need to treat this like it is your job. Don't get caught up in the flexibility trap, because yes, it's awesome that we have this career that's super flexible. You can do things when you want, but that's if you allow yourself to, only do the things that you like to do, like people who love to source, they want to go out and source every day. They don't like the listing part. If you don't treat it like it's a job, treat yourself like you are your own employee. You need to have some sort of schedule. You need to make sure that you are balancing everything. So you're not just sourcing. You got to make sure you're listing. You got to make sure you're doing everything you need to do every day to keep your stores going. That is like super, super important. And like, look at your performance and be like, okay, would I give myself a raise, or would I fire myself? Or would I have to write myself up because all I keep doing is going out and shopping? So that's like super, super important. And that's why we do like our whole boss up and list day, and we do like our daily listing challenges in our Facebook group. It's all about kind of getting into those habits and making sure that you're balancing your work days. As far as like seasoned sellers, I would say that, it's similar to what she was saying. It's about always be learning, and you need to be adaptable, because this business is constantly changing. I don't care if you've been selling on eBay for 20 years. It doesn't mean that you know more than somebody who's only been doing it for 5 years, because things change. What sells changes, how it sells changes, what buyers want changes. And if all you do is dig in your heels and say, I know the best way to do this, and this is the only way that it can be done, you are going to be left behind, and you're not going to be selling as well as you once were, because it's a different animal every single day.
This is not the eBay it was when I started. It's not the eBay it was 2 years ago. It's constantly changing and evolving.
And sometimes that can be frustrating, but you know what? It's the way it is. And so you have to learn how to adapt. And part of it is doing things like, like we're branching out and doing more in other platforms. And, I'm building up my Etsy store, and she's getting started back up in her Etsy store. And other people are doing like Poshmark. And it's like, that's because you can't just stick to what you know and only do that same thing all the time, because it's going to be your downfall.
Yeah, and I've got two things just to real quick. The Real Stitch, appreciate that. Wade, Katy, Vicky, inspire me to start my new YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yay.
Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. You guys are welcome. If you have 1 subscriber, 100 subscribers, let me know. We'll do an interview. I love, love, love to support people that are just starting their social media. You hear this from me a lot, but God forbid if something happened to me, I would love my kids to be able to come on here and see their dad, doing these interviews. So do it for your family and reselling. So anyways, guys, start up a YouTube channel, start up Instagram. If you're not, do social media. I can tell you that if social media was as prominent now as it was maybe 20 or 30 years ago, people, isn't it crazy? You can pick up your phone and like make friends with somebody all the way across the United States. There's people that I met that I can have dinner with, and Thanksgiving dinner and turkey and all that good stuff. So it's pretty incredible. But on to the tips for me. I think that the biggest thing too, guys, and something that I struggled with a little bit, is you need to recognize what you're not good at. Like the problem is we're best at convincing ourselves a lot of the time. So find out what you're not good at. And once you identify what you don't like doing and or not good at, then you can figure out, okay, how do I improve this, or do I need to get somebody to help in this area? So just keep that in mind, guys. I think that's really, really crucial. And so how has reselling changed your life? Like I know you guys, you're going to go on this wonderful, you're going to eat a lot of pasta in Italy, and it's an amazing relationship, and it's going to change. You guys sit by the pool. Like I'm lurking your Instagram, and you're going to the pool and eating this amazing food, but how has reselling changed your life?
Other than the obvious meeting each other. For me, it was kind of like what I'd said before. I worked working for other people my whole life, like most of us do. And, you know, I had a real life-changing event happen about 15 years ago. And I started working in the nonprofit sector. And what I did in the nonprofit sector was all volunteer. I had started a couple of charities that were close to my heart. And I did that because I wanted to, but I still need to make a living. So I'm still heavily involved with 2 other nonprofit organizations that I love to volunteer my time with, and it means everything to me. I would, if I were independently wealthy, that'd be what I would do all the time, but I would probably still sell on eBay because I really love it. But I sell online to make money to pay my bills and because I love it, but it also gives me the time to, you know, I get to take 2 weeks out of every year and travel to volunteer, and that pays for me to do that. And I get to do that because I sell online. If I worked a 9-to-5 job, I would not be able to do that. That's bottom line for me.
Well, yeah. So for me, I guess, other than the obvious of meeting my fiance, I really think the biggest, you know, it's great that I can make a living doing this. It's fun. I like going out and hunting for treasure, and that's all well and good. But for me, I really think the biggest thing that's changed my life about reselling is doing the YouTube channel, really, honestly, because for me, it's like in every job I've ever had since I was a kid, I've always very quickly risen to some sort of leadership position or management position. I just naturally tend to go that way. And I recognize that, which is why I went to school for what I went to school for, and doing nonprofit work and leading organizations. And so it's just what I do. And so for me, having this opportunity to, you know, be a part of this amazing community, trying to be a leader in the community, getting to like work with other people like you, Wade, and everybody else, and hopefully like help motivate other sellers, inspire people. The more I can do that and the bigger reach that I have, the happier I am. Like it's fun for me. It's really fun. Like I'm a silly person a lot of times, but I also am like super genuine, and I do really just want to help people. And, you know, being at eBay Open and meeting people who we had impacted, like it was overwhelming. It was just absolutely overwhelming and amazing. And to realize that there are people out there who look to us as inspiration and that we've helped them to improve their businesses. I mean, that's just like, it's super exciting. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
It's crazy and very humbling too, because, you know, we're just trying to share stuff that we know. And if it helps, great. You know, to hear from people that, you know, we are significantly helping them in some way is just, it's more than I expected. So I really love that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's do this. Let's go into this small haul video. Show us what you got. And the reason I love doing this is I love to see kind of what people pick up around the United States. And, you know, people can find different things in different states. I do want to give Ryan and Allie one last shout out since they're in chat. You guys are amazing.
What up, brother Roots?
They're so cute.
Look, we got our little keychains right here that they sent to us.
Honestly, let me pop up the picture real quick one last time so they can but while I'm doing that, I wanted to say again, I appreciate you guys coming on. Show us the stuff that you're picking up here in Vegas. And while you're doing that, I'll pick up the picture for Ryan.
Well, so here's the deal. We do a live haul show every Sunday. And so we just had our show yesterday. So what we just did is we basically were like, okay, we're probably going to see a lot of people on the show that like maybe don't watch our show. And so we kind of went and just picked stuff out of our inventory that maybe could be, I guess, something that maybe you don't know about or could be helpful. So it's not anything that like we've sourced. I think I have one thing I sourced like last week, but otherwise it's old stuff. So I don't know. Do you want to show something you have?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I tried to pull like a few, you know, different things. I don't think I talked about this on our hauls before. So, okay. So example of some strange hard goods type of thing. So there's this thing, which is basically it's a case that has a vintage hair dryer in it. I paid, it's got this big old hair bonnet thing. So I love vintage anything, awesome. Really. It's got this hair bonnet thing that you plug in and you put on your head. Anyway, it's from the 60s. And I paid $7 for it. It's for sale in my store now for about $80. And I think I'll get every bit of that. There are some people that sell stuff, you know, for cheaper, but
yeah,
I think it'll get that. It's in great condition. It's almost like it's new.
Well, that's why I really like doing the haul shows with her, because, I'm so limited because all I do is men's clothing, that it's like, I mean, do you want to sit for an hour and look at me show you, here's another t-shirt that I found, and here's a jacket, and here's another jacket, but Vicky brings like this whole other level of like really cool, interesting, weird stuff where you're like, really? You're going to sell that? Like, that's awesome.
And you guys have such like, both of you guys do different things that your audience can feed off of pretty much everything, right? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's fun because even though we buy a lot of the same things, we compete a little bit. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like she would never have picked that thing up never in a million years.
Probably not. But it's also kind of fun when we go sourcing. I don't do hard goods because I don't like to sell them, but I can source them sometimes because I know stuff that she'll want to sell. So it kind of makes it fun for me when I'm sourcing.
Exactly. We got Farm Girl Scavenger with all the pretty emojis. Hey, girl.
You opened up a can of worms here, I think. Like, what? So do we have competition? Who sells the most at all in the house?
No.
No, healthy competition. I mean, I'll be like, hey, what'd you do today? We ask what we're doing each sales-wise.
I would say the only place where we're competitive is when we're outsourcing together. That's the only time where I'm kind of like, if I see her grab something that like I would love to be able to source myself, I'll be like, yeah, come on. And so that's the only time. If she's having a great sales day, like I am so stoked for her. Like I don't ever feel competitive.
I'm not like, hey, you're having a good day and I'm having a crappy day. I hate you. Like,
no.
Let me know in chat if you want to see whoever can source the best in one day between these two. Not sell, but source, like a little competition. That would be amazing. I would love to see it. I would love hard goods versus men's clothing, guys. Let me know.
I don't know. I honestly think she's gonna win that every time because, like,
hard goods have a higher ROI.
Well, and she does, and she has so much more to like choose from. So I'll probably lose immediately. So, I mean, I do limit myself because I only am selling it within one, little.
See, even niche. Robin says I'd win hands down. That's my girl.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Robin isn't she amazing?
She is. I love my girl. She's a good girl.
We had a little adventure together in the limo.
Yeah, the limo.
Yeah, she told me. Yeah,
we saw the pictures.
Yes, she was, and I had to bring her in a limo. It was me, Casey. We had all kinds of people in there. Portland Pickers were there. Just really, really cool people. So it's fun to get like-minded people together and just have a blast. Like, it's incredible. Next time we need to get a limo with Ryan and Allie. Come on now. We'll get a big old stretch. But okay, so what else you guys got to show?
All right, you. I'll show. So I thought I would grab, speaking of tags and dating things.
I'm gonna turn this light on in here. It's starting to get
it's getting a little dark in here. It gets dark earlier in Vegas. So hopefully that helps you guys. Will help you guys see. So I thought I would grab a couple of Nike jackets. Now, so the people, if you guys are not familiar with like Nike tags, with vintage Nike tags, sorry, this will hopefully help you a little bit. So this jacket right here, the sweet, I don't know if you can see the color very well, but it's like a really hot pink. This awesome jacket. And if you look at this tag, this is one of the more desirable tags. They call this a Jordan era tag. So this is like late 80s, early 90s. And this jacket right here. So anytime you see a Nike tag that looks like this, you're definitely going to want to grab it. This jacket could sell for $100 or more. And then we have directly after that one, this is the next kind of era, is these white tags. And this is mid to late 90s. So this is also vintage 90s, but it's not going to be as desirable as the other one. But you can still sell a jacket like this for like $40. So
you have a super chat song request.
Oh, the Real Stitch wants to hear my super chat. Okay, super chat, it's super chatty. Ow. It always has to end with an attack on Vicky's face. So basically, I have people pay me to abuse Victoria.
It was. Okay, guys, you want me to play this? I gotta play this. I'm sorry. I gotta play this for the crowd here. Let's see. Okay, ready? Let me look it up. All right. So I know it was a few days ago. I know it was a few days ago, Katie. Where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Where's that?
What are you looking for?
Got it.
No Pants Friday, guys. Come on. Go to the link tree. In my bio. Show starts at 1 p.m. Standard Time. It's No Pants Friday. Come ready with your questions. Ask me anything. Ask us anything. And we will answer.
There it is. The abuse over there. The abuse. Oh my.
So abusive.
You guys would be fun to hang out with for a week in Vegas. I tell you. Fun. Thank you so much for the super chat. I would do amazing. I mean, she did it. It was incredible. So thank you so much for the super chat. You obviously hang out on her YouTube channel, which we're going to talk about next. But all right, so tell me where. Okay, so first we're going to start off with the Facebook group. Tell me a little bit about how your guys' Facebook group works. How does that work? Can anybody join?
Okay, yes, anybody can join. So the Facebook group is called the Boss Facebook group. Teresa Cox is actually the one who started the group. She wanted to start a group that was more business oriented, like talking about like doing your books and, you know, reconciling every month taxes, stuff like that. Because a lot of the Facebook groups out there, it's like they freak out if anybody asks a tax question. They're like they think that somehow if they have a conversation about taxes, like they're going to get sued or something like that because they're not a CPA. It's just silly. And so she wanted to start a group that was very business oriented. So she started the Boss Facebook group. And then she quickly realized that you can only talk business and numbers so much. And she really wanted us to bring in some of the other stuff as well. And so she asked me if I would come and kind of co-run the group with her and kind of do more of the other stuff, because she's not really that interested in being like the face of a group.
She's not big on the YouTube.
And stuff like that.
Like live Facebook show, you know, stuff like that. She loves the business part. She loves numbers. She loves talking numbers. And she really loves new sellers. She loves the newbies. She'll talk about it over and over again. She loves to meet new sellers. She will ask and answer, you know, a million questions. She loves it.
She's another person who's like just super, super generous. Like she's done so much to help me. And a lot of it also just had to do with like wanting me to have a group that I could kind of bring people to. She was very much wanting to like get me involved as an influencer with eBay. And so she knew like I needed to have like kind of a group behind me to point to look at these numbers I have. And so that's all about her just wanting to support me and be super awesome. So now the group has kind of grown into, we have this whole mantra, boss up. And the whole idea of that is that we are in control of our own success. A lot of people, I think by nature, want to assign external causes to their failures. And the problem with that is that while it might make you feel a little more comfortable with your failures, it also means that you're not changing anything. And so it's just, we just believe in the concept of like, you know, you are in control.
Accountability.
Yeah, it's accountability, and you're in control of your success. You have the control over what you need to do to make your business more successful. And if it's not working right now, there's probably something that you need to change. And it's not anybody else's fault. It's not eBay's fault. It's not the post office's fault. Yes, things happen, but by and large, 90% of the time, you are in full control of that. And so we're just all about creating a super positive space where we can support each other, where we can lift each other up, we can celebrate each other's accomplishments, but also help each other through problems.
Where we don't have a negative atmosphere. That's the other thing. Like we don't have a lot of rules in the Facebook group. It's pretty much
just be nice to each other.
Kindergarten rules, be nice to each other. Be nice when you're talking about whatever you're talking about. It's kind of an unwritten rule, but we haven't had to say anything to anyone about it. But it's not all about eBay bashing. It's not all about customer bashing. It's not all about eBay's broken. eBay sucks. My customers suck. Everybody's trying to scam me. There's enough groups that have that conversation that goes on and on and on and on and on. And if you want to follow that type of negative vibe, you can find that anywhere. But really all it does is kind of put you in that negative place. So if you are looking for the scammers, if you're looking for the crap, if you're looking for my eBay sales are dead or eBay's broken, if you're looking for all that kind of stuff, you're kind of going to manifest that in your own life or in your own business, I think. So if you don't really talk about it, but you focus on the good side, yeah, we talk about problems. Of course there are problems with this glitchapalooza and the ongoing glitches that have been happening. It happens, and there are problems, but we talk about workarounds and we talk about the reality of making, you know, your business work for you in spite of these challenges.
Yeah.
So I always like this. I always met those who've been in this and seen me. I always mess up quotes, but I really like the fact that this one, and it basically says that you need to feel comfortable being uncomfortable in business, and I think that's really true. Or in life, like I think when you're in uncomfortable situations, sometimes that's the best time because you're doing something new. I really like the positivity too. By the way, the Facebook positivity is amazing. Like I am 100% with you on there. I feel like that, you know, people say you are who you hang out with, and I think a better version of that is like we all put off energy. I think everything in life is energy, some sort of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it could be good energy, bad energy, like and so that you got to choose to put off good energy. It
Absolutely.
And then you'll attract people like that, and it will breed better energy. So guys, bring out the good energy, okay?
Well, I feel like every philosophy, every religion has kind of this common theme, whether you want to call it karma or the golden rule or do unto others, you know, what all that stuff. It's like it's the same thing. It's what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back.
I absolutely agree with that.
And so the more positive energy you put out, the more you're going to get back, because it's gonna
right. Like Callie says, happiness is a choice. It's absolutely
right.
true.
It's going to affect how you treat other people. It's going to affect how you make your choices, how you make your decisions. And in talking about, you know, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, I've talked about this before, but years ago, I had an opportunity come up. I was asked to do something. And I remember that my first instinct was to say no. And I remember thinking, like, why am I saying no? And I realized that the only reason I was wanting to say no was because I was scared. It had nothing to. It wasn't because it was not the right thing to do. It was just because it scared me. And so I kind of like made an agreement with myself, like moving forward. If the only reason I have to say no to something is that I'm scared, I'm gonna say yes. And it's put me in a position where I've had to do things that I really didn't want to do, and I felt really uncomfortable. But it opens so many doors. If you make yourself say yes to things that you're only scared of, the only reason you're going to say no is because you're scared. I'm telling you, it's life-changing.
Yeah, I mean, I have a tattoo. I'm not quite as tattooed as Ryan, but I have quite a few. But one of my tattoos, to whom that much has been given, much will be required. And yes, it's a quote from the Bible, but I'm not a particularly religious person. It's just a quote that really speaks to me, that I'm very fortunate in this life. I feel like I'm very fortunate. I think, you know, we all have our issues. Everybody does. But you can stand there and complain about your stuff every day and make it worse and stay steeped in it. Or you can be thankful and grateful for what you do have that is good. And if you are thankful and grateful and you live in a state of gratitude, then you should be sharing that with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's really important to work and be grateful outside of yourself and share that with other people, because if we can all complain about, oh, I wish I had more money, I wish I didn't have any more, any bills, or I wish that it wasn't raining today, I wish I didn't have to wait 20 minutes for my coffee at Starbucks, whatever. This is all first world crap. None of us have it as bad as, there's always somebody that has it worse. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're healthy. We're not wondering where our next meal is coming from. We're fortunate enough to be self-employed and to make a living being self-employed. We have each other. There's so many good things in the world to be grateful for that.
There are so many tacos in the world for me to eat.
Yes, so many.
And
tacos.
I'm going to eat them all.
Yeah, all right, I'm preaching. Sorry, that was I'm preaching.
No wonder Ryan and Allie like you guys so much. They are extremely positive folks as well. It's funny. So I met them. I think it was the House of Blues, right? And right away, they're really approachable. You guys are approachable. You guys have good vibes. I just want to say I appreciate you guys with the good vibes, because that's one thing I try to do on my YouTube channel is good vibes, guys. Good vibes. So join the Boss Facebook group. Get some good friends, some coworkers in that group, and I'm sure you guys answer questions all the time, help people out. Now let's go on to your YouTube channel. First off, I want you to explain what made you want to start the YouTube channel up, like real quick, and then also kind of what your guys' schedule is for YouTube. Like, when do you guys do that? I'm assuming No Pants Friday is on Friday, but what else do you guys do?
Well, first of all, Reg1602 just said Taco Mania, and Taco Mania used to be a party that my friends and I would throw every year. We actually had like this party every year because we've met these Canadians who love tacos and had Taco Mania parties up in Canada. And so we were like, we're taking it on a world tour. And so let me tell you, my love of tacos goes back very far. It's a very important detail. Okay,
it's true. It's true.
So anyway, I won the Shine Award last summer, and that was kind of like when I started my YouTube channel. Or I was like, I think I'm gonna try to.
Actually, you started. You were thinking you were going to do a podcast because she's she
true.
listens to podcasts all day long, every day.
Yeah,
and I think she wanted to go with a podcast, then went, yeah, maybe not.
Well, then I was going to do like a podcast combined with a YouTube channel. So like when I got my Shine money, I went out and I bought my camera. I bought like a voice recorder, all this stuff. And so then I started kind of slowly I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the channel. So if you go back and look at my early videos, they're kind of sporadic. I was like, okay, I'm gonna like document moving to Vegas. And so that's in there, but then I have like random other stuff. And I wasn't really getting a feel for what I wanted it to be. And then like earlier this year, I think, I don't even really know like what started it, but it just kind of like, this is what I want it to be. And I started doing these regular shows, and it started out as my channel, but then I pretty quickly started bringing Vicky into the show, and now she's on every show with me. And when she was gone for 10 days, it was like, I think super boring, because I think
Vicky 2.0 was pretty interesting.
But I think I'm way funnier and more silly when I have her to play off of, and I think we're more interesting
I'm
together.
definitely boring by myself. I'm nowhere near as goofy and silly as she is. So I think that works well, because by myself, I could never do it. I have no interest in actually having my own YouTube channel. I like being her sidekick. I'm okay with that.
But now it's like, the channel's like my name, but it's kind of misleading because it's really both of us together. So I think that I've decided that what we're going to do is we're going to be called Katy Zilverberg. And we're gonna do thumb wrestling. It's gonna be like our thing, right?
Instead of
so we're gonna be Victoria. And I think you'll be like, this is like after we get married, right? So you'll be like, I'm Victoria Zilverberg, and I'll be like, I'm Katy Zilverberg, and together we're Victoria Zilverberg, and then we'll thumb wrestle, and then we'll eat tacos while we thumb wrestle, right?
I think Ryan and Allie are going to be offended.
Callie thinks it's a great idea. Callie says it is genius. Okay,
I didn't see genius there.
I think. See, she likes the Thumb Wars. Okay, or we could be called Vady, I guess, right?
That's
with your powers combined. It didn't work out.
Your twins activate.
I don't know. But I do. But in all seriousness, I am thinking that we probably need to come up with some sort of cool name for a channel, because
you can just tack my name on there with you. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like, so anyway, so going back to your question, sorry, I tend to ramble a lot. Your question about our shows. So we do what I call Sunday Live Haul with LB Pink Panther. So her name is in that show. Mm-hmm. And so that show, what we do is we talk about highlights of what we sold for the week. And then we do like a kind of a highlights of our haul of like anything that we bought during the previous week. Mm-hmm. And we really try to be as informative as possible. Like, we don't just say, here's what we sold, here's what we sold, here's what we bought. We're like, here's why we sold this, here's why it sold for this much, here's why you should be looking at these brands
or this label or this type of item.
Or like, here's something from Pendleton, but here's why you want to get this, but not this from that brand. So we try to be really super informative. And then Wednesday we do, it's called the Boss Up and List live show, because Boss Up and List is the all-day virtual listing party that we do in the Boss Facebook group. So first thing in the morning on Wednesdays, I put up a post, and I basically invite everybody to like kind of set their goals for the day, what they want to list. And then at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we do the Boss Up and List live shows. It's kind of like, okay, take a break, hang out with us. We try to have guests or some sort of like
sometimes
topic.
It's a guest or it's business related, like, or we've done some live store reviews for people. And that seemed to work out really well. I think we're going to get back to doing that. Maybe we'll do one this week. But do we have plans?
Well, Lauren is coming.
Oh, Lauren is here this week. Yeah. So maybe next week we'll do a live store review. So that was really fun. It seemed like a lot of people are, really responded to that.
Yeah. So that's Wednesdays. And then on Friday we have Pants Off Friday. And so basically, no Pants Friday.
Pants Off Friday.
I know. Pants Off. What was
Pants Off sounds like a bit more obscene.
Oh, it's very obscene. No Pants Friday. That's just like a whole thing because I hate wearing pants in general. So I never have pants on at home. I also hate to source and list pants. So I don't. And so it's basically like we don't really have an agenda. It's just a Q&A, ask me anything type of thing. So we just kind of hang out and chat. So those are the 3 shows that we do.
Yeah, and yesterday turned into a whole conversation about tacos after our show and tell.
I love tacos, guys. Can you sense a theme?
So I'm gonna ask 2 questions in chat. And I really need your guys' help here. One, my first question is what is your guys' favorite tacos? What is your guys' favorite tacos? Put that in chat. Second, I want you to guess what Katie's favorite taco is as well. So put that in chat. So
Okay.
those 2 questions.
I've talked about my favorite before, so somebody who has paid attention to our show may know which one is my favorite.
So put that in chat, guys. I'm curious.
Wow, that's fast.
All right. So your YouTube channel is blowing up. You've got an amazing Facebook group. You've got a really, really cool Instagram that I lurk all the time. So tell me a little bit about, I forgot to ask this question. We're going to take 2 steps back and then we'll wrap this up. But I always like to ask this question because when I first started reselling, I found like one person, which led to another person, which led to another person. So I always like to ask, who do you guys like following on social media? This could be on Instagram, this could be a podcast, or this could be YouTube. Like, who do you guys enjoy watching? So maybe the 120 people that are watching possibly can go to them and subscribe and like their content.
Okay, so I will say that for the most part, I don't watch a lot of like reseller eBay people on YouTube. And a lot of that just has to do with because I'm so focused on like streetwear and stuff like that. There aren't a lot of people out there that get into that. So when I very first started, I will say I watched Hustler Hacks? Glenn. I watch him because he does like shoes and jerseys and stuff like that. But probably the most that I watch to learn from is Paul Cantu, who's super, super ridiculously silly. I know Rally Roots watch him because they always talk about Tommy for Your Mommy. He's super silly, but his channel is great to watch to just kind of get a feel for what is popular. The other one that I love is the show by Round 2. And so Round 2 is like it started.
Watches that as well.
Yeah, it started as one store, but it has grown into. I think they just opened a store in South Beach in Florida. So they have stores all over the country now. But they do a lot of vintage stuff, but they also do like new streetwear. So like Bathing Ape and Supreme and stuff like that. So that is like a great show to watch if you want to know what people are, what's super hyped right now, what people are into when it comes to men's streetwear and vintage streetwear. So those are like the main things that I watch now. Now that I've kind of gotten to know some of you guys, I do watch more of like your stuff, Wade, and like Rally Roots and stuff like that, and Casey. But to be honest, when I was just kind of doing my thing, I didn't watch a lot of eBayers. I was more into the streetwear stuff.
Yeah, so I'm kind of really bad at this. Like I literally only watched one person on YouTube ever for like the longest time because I didn't even know that YouTube shows about thrifting or flipping stuff were even a thing. So now that I've gotten to know people more, I'm the same as Katie. Like I watch Ryan and Allie. I'll watch Casey. I'll watch you. A lot of our friends that we follow. Through Instagram and other versions of social media, I'll like, if they're doing something live, I'll tune in if I'm able to. So I may not see every show, but I do try to keep up and just like, even if I'm playing it in the background or if I'm working and somebody goes live, I'll flip it on. So yeah, I've just started really watching people more over the last year, believe it or not. I didn't really know that this was as much of a thing.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Another thing I would say, guys, another tip for kind of following trends and stuff like that is seek out whatever it is you sell. Obviously for me, it's going to be men's clothing and streetwear and vintage stuff. So for me, like I join like a lot of streetwear Facebook groups because it's like a whole culture right now, not just people reselling, but there's a lot of like young, mostly like young guys who are out thrifting for their own collections, or they're trading, or they're selling. And so there's Facebook groups that you can join so you can see when somebody says like, hey, I just got this, and you can see the kind of response that it gets, and you'll get a feel for like what is like really desirable. And then the same thing for like Reddit. There's a couple of subreddits I follow, like there's men's fashion advice, and there's like a streetwear one where people just post their outfits for the day. So there's a lot of different ways that you can be like going and like seeking that kind of information to kind of learn like what people are into, because trends change all the time.
I forgot to shout out Farm Girl Scavenger, my first interview ever on Wade's Ventures YouTube channel, $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. You don't have to do that. Glad everything's going good with you and the doctor, by the way, too. That crazy scare. And then also Fred, dude, thank you so much for the $5 super chat as well. we will definitely collab. Reach out to me. If you guys, any of you guys are interested in being live on the show, you don't have to be, you can have 1 subscriber. You don't even have to be on YouTube. And we have live shows all the time. So reach out to me on Instagram. We'll get you live here.
Yeah,
And
what are you're doing like what, like 5 live shows a day now?
it's getting crazy now. It used to be so it used to be where people would trickle in and be like, "Hey, I would love to be on your show." Now I'm getting like a lot of DMs, so I'm trying to get caught up, and it's going to be a while, I think. But it's so rewarding because I understand the struggles to start out a social media channel, especially YouTube. And so if I can get these really cool people on, ask them personal questions, ask them nuggets, there's so many cool things that I've never even heard of, but yet other resellers have, but they're not on social media, so they can't get their voice heard yet. So we try to get them on here, give them an opportunity to kind of showcase them and build that. Like, I feel like I'm building bridges between really cool people like Farm Girl Scavenger and Hip Flippin' Mama, and everybody didn't know each other until they started, coming to this live show. And it's really, really cool. We had Barry, Thrifty Santa now, and now everybody knows his Get Off the Naughty List cards. And it's creating like really cool atmosphere, just like your guys' Facebook group, and so that's kind of what we do here. If you guys you want to come on here, you don't have to be on social media at all. You don't even have to want a YouTube channel, and you still can come on here and go live with me. So
yeah, it was really great to meet all of those people at Open, Hip Flippin' Mama and Scavenger. Noelle and I had a conversation, and we need to talk, girl. What I do with my charity work is I work with the burn community, and the fact that she was recently burned in an injury, through an accident. We had a little bit of a conversation about that, and there's some stuff that I wanted to talk to her about that. But it's a whole other non-eBay related conversation and world. But I think that's really great that we were able to make that connection because of eBay.
Yes, and you meet some amazing people. I mean, me and Barry were eBay Open betting on random horses, and needless to say, Barry, we went home on that one, but it was really fun, guys. This channel means a lot to me. I've met so many really cool people, and I just want to say again, everybody that came from Ryan and Ellie's channel tonight, I appreciate you coming over. I appreciate them. Ryan is just such an incredible guy. Ellie's such an incredible girl, and really cool people. So, all right, so I've got one last thing for you guys, and then we'll let you go. I want to be respectful of your time, because I know how it is to be on here for a long time. I wanted to ask you one last question, and that is, for starting social media, like, what advice would you give somebody that does want to start up a YouTube channel, or put themselves out there on the internet, especially for you, Katy? What do you recommend? Like, what kind of, because I get a lot of people that want to do it, but they're kind of shy, or they think that putting themselves out there will, affect them in some way. So what kind of advice can you give somebody? Because I know me and you are somewhat new to the social media game. So
yeah, I mean, a couple of things I would say. One of them is, don't spend too much time like trying to prepare and figure out exactly what it is you want to do. Because here's the thing, you're going to start out, you're going to have 0 subscribers, or you're going to have like 2, and nobody's going to care what you're doing. So you might as well just like put yourself out there and just start making videos. Like, seriously, if you go back and watch my earlier videos, they have nothing to do with what I talk about now. They're super random. They're, ones have one come out 1 week, another one's like 2 months later. Like, because I just didn't know what I was doing. And my whole thing was like, it will happen organically. Like, it will develop. And now here I am now, and we've got like these set shows that we do every week. And it just happened organically. I didn't waste too much time, or I didn't sit there and like take 2 years to figure out what I wanted to do. It's like, just do it. It's like, who cares?
And
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Be yourself.
Yeah, because at first it's probably going to be awkward, and it's going to be weird. You're going to be like staring at a camera like I am right now, and like acting like you're talking to people. And it's kind of weird. And so you just have to get used to it, and you got to get used to being comfortable and just being yourself.
I think if you have a good personality, that's going to come through. So, there's going to be people that identify with you for whatever reason. And then there's going to be people that are going to like you, and people are going to hate you, and who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
So
there's somebody for everybody. It's like, for whatever reason, some people really like to watch our show. And if we're the ones that motivate them, then that's awesome. Like, cool. And it's for somebody else.
Be yourself. That's
Yes,
it. Be
right.
transparent and be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try to be something that you're not, because it definitely comes out at some point.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I think it really does. I think if you're just genuine in who you are, then people are either going to like you for that or they're not going to like you for that. But at least you're being yourself.
Right. And then a couple of other things. The next thing I would say is you want to be consistent. So yes, at first, like I was kind of all over the place, but once I kind of figured out what I wanted to do, I think it is really important to have, I mean, yes, you can throw up random stuff whenever you want, but I think it's important to have like a show or a couple of shows that happen at a specific time, a specific day, every week, so people can know when to expect to see you. Because what's going to happen is as you grow, you're going to have people that become fans of your show, and you're going to keep them engaged if they can have expectations and know that you're going to follow through on that. So I think that's super important. And so that's why we have 3 shows. They happen at the same time every week. You know, very rarely do we have to do it at a different time. I'll throw up.
We don't need a 4th show.
I'll randomly throw up pre-recorded stuff because that doesn't really matter, but our live shows are always at the same time, same day of every week. And then the last thing I would say is that make sure that you are engaging with the people that are coming to watch you. So like what you do, Wade, where you're talking to people in the chat, like we try to like interact with people, engage with them, answer questions, respond to comments. You know, it's important.
Those are the people that are watching you. So
Yeah.
you need to interact with them so that they will.
And it's a community. And it's a community. That's what people, they like. I like that I can go watch Ryan and Allie and I type something in the chat and they say my name and they talk about me. It's like, you know, and Casey's really good about that too. You know, Casey's done that a lot with you, Wade. I know, you know, just being super supportive, and it means so much to the viewers, because I know what it means to me when somebody like responds to me like that. So you just got to remember to do that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So when we were all doing the dance, you know, my video, me and Barry, Thrifty Santa, we crushed it. 11,000 views.
It's so good.
We couldn't have done it without Casey, because so we did the video. I texted Casey and I was like, hey, do you mind like promoting this in your Facebook group? And within 5 minutes, that thing was on there. It was incredible. He is such a very
good egg.
Very supportable guy, and he's always calling my channel out in chat. Really amazing guy. Just like you know, same thing with Ryan today. So I appreciate you guys that are just crushing it out there, helping us little tacos. You know,
tacos. Don't you get me started again.
We went and got tacos last
But wait, we need to talk about what my favorite taco is.
Oh yes,
taco about the tacos.
Let me see in chat if somebody actually got it. What is your favorite taco?
Somebody did. At least one person got it. My favorite taco is al pastor. So that's the like kind of spicy marinated pork. At the really good places, they have it up on the big spit and they like carve it off into the tacos. So yeah, my favorite tacos, definitely. When I say tacos, I'm talking street tacos. I'm talking on the little double corn tortilla, meat, onion, cilantro. You're good to go.
I actually had
sauce on that.
What about you, Vicky? What tacos do you like?
I like carne asada. I do like the al pastor too. I'm all about the carne asada fries though, if they're made well. Like it has to be, you know, I've tried them at different places that this place that we go to, carne asada fries are fantastic.
Taco-y taco, guys. You got to go to Taco-y taco. Now, al pastor tacos, they do put pineapple on it as well. I don't like it with the pineapple, but everything else, delicious.
I like barbacoa too. Yeah, I'm not that picky, Callie. I'll kind of eat anything almost.
Guys, go check out Kelly's YouTube channel. She's got a really cool one. She's like, I don't know how she does the song thing. Like she's always like singing and she's remembering these words, you know, these songs. And I can get like 4 sentences and I completely forget. So I commend you for that. You're amazing.
My trick is that you just make up the words and then you always
sing anything.
And then you always know the words. Because, you know, not everybody's going to be as awesome as Callie, but if you just like pull it out of thin air, it's like.
Although I have noticed that Callie's half of her statements with her little wretch tonight have been song lyrics. So don't think I haven't noticed that, because I have actually.
Yeah.
So she's real good with the song lyrics.
She's smart. She's a smart cookie, that's for sure. All right, guys. So this is the time I'm going to I'm going to wrap it up here. I do want to make sure that you guys go to their YouTube channel, subscribe to them, not only support them as an amazing group, but also they have really cool content. They know way more than I do. I love their No Pants Fridays because I'm a shorts guy myself. And you know, I'm wearing shorts today. I'm wearing shorts today. I don't know if you can see Ryan. We showed it earlier.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
But they're donuts, unicorn, all kinds of stuff, guys. So
I love donuts. I have to say, I'm hoping the donuts were for me because
Yeah.
I am a big
Yes.
donut.
She's more donuts and I'm more tacos.
hey, I love my donuts too, though. I cannot put down.
Listen, I'm a chubby girl. I like donuts. I'm sorry.
I'm more about ice cream. Give me some ice cream. I will eat ice cream all day long.
I like to take ice cream and put it in the bowl and like whip it up, you know.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I did all the time. You get it.
Oh yeah. But guys, go and then their Facebook group too. We're gonna have you guys back on. We're gonna have you back because
Yeah, for sure.
we'll be on here for 2 hours. But I also you've seen my shows. We always leave on a positive note. This doesn't need to be reselling related. It could be anything. So both of you guys, before we leave, do you guys have something positive you want to bring out to the world, the 120 people watching?
You got something?
I don't know. A positive thing is, so like 1 year ago today was kind of when Katie and I decided that we were going to be together.
Exactly 1 year ago today.
Wow. I knew
It changed everything. Yep.
So that's kind of positive. I think it's positive.
Yep. Sometimes it's like what I said earlier. Sometimes, like, even if something is super scary, you just have to jump.
Yep.
And have faith that it's going to work out. Seriously, guys. Like, I uprooted my whole life. She blew up her whole world. And it was super, super scary, but we never questioned it for a second.
Yep.
So
do you guys have animals in the house?
we do. We have little pups. Two dogs.
Nice. We have 3. That's, man, you guys have a lot going on. 2 pups, running 5,000 items out of your guys. Incredible. Incredible, guys. All right. Well, thank you so much. Look at all the love you guys are getting. Guys,
I know, look at all the hearts. They're so cute.
like if you guys like this interview, give these two some love in here. Let's see how many hearts we can get in chat. Hip flipping hippos, guys. By the way, guys, we have a cool show with her Wednesday. We have a plush.
I
nice.
saw that. There's a plush challenge that was thrown down.
Very
I saw
cool.
that. I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yes, Rita, True Love. Oh my gosh, we got so much love in here. I Stitch Witch. Oh, the real Stitch. Sorry, awesome. I always forget your.
Oh, see, now Callie knows how to throw down hearts in the shape of tacos. Tacos. I'm pretty sure my heart is shaped like a taco. Probably.
Or it will be.
So good. So good.
Kelly is one smart cookie. She is amazing. She's really cool. Yes, you're welcome to come to eBay. I will make sure that Ryan and Allie get you over to eBay Open next year. Kelly.
Absolutely, they have to bring her.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, all the love, all the amazing. I appreciate all the nuggets. I appreciate the time. I appreciate you guys coming on board. I appreciate everybody watching. Please hit the like button to get this interview, this amazing video out to the world of YouTube. Get more people to discover these two. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Allie. I think that's Allie in chat. Thank you so much.
There's unicorns. I think it's Allie.
You guys are really amazing. Words can't explain.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us on.
This was a lot of fun. I love doing this stuff and getting to know new people. So it was awesome.
Yep.
Next time you see me on or you see them on, I will be getting a pink wig.
Okay.
Just to be as cool as I can, but and tacos for Katie. But all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. We got 2 shows. See you guys.
All right.
Bye. Bye.